Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Appreciate you stopping by today. Dating advice today. In fact, it is 10 dating hacks. I don't think we require much more of an introduction than that. You click the button to check it out. Let's just get right to it. Dating hack number 1. Prepare ahead of time for that what can be awkward introduction, handshake, hug. Just run over it in your head as to which you prefer, which you're going to commit to. If there's a hand or an arm, you know exactly what you're prepared to offer. You're ready for it. You're ready to evade the one you don't want. And it's not going to be an awkward moment because you know what to expect and how you're going to handle whatever is thrown at you. So prepare for that first physical introduction. Back in the day when I was doing a lot of commercial auditions, you struggle with nerves and wondering, will they like me? Will I get this job? What are they thinking about me? Was I good? Was I bad? Did they like that? They don't tell you. You just don't get a call, or you do get a call back and you never know, and you have to struggle with all of that. And in order to not be so worried about what they were thinking of me, I would play a game with myself and I would pretend that I didn't really need this. I was a movie star. I was a big actress in Chicago from Hollywood, and I had other jobs waiting for me. My limo was downstairs and I was off to do another job. I'm doing them a favor, stopping in to audition for this role, whatever it was. And just that little flip in my head of, I don't really need this, I would like it, but I want to do this as a favor for them, really. So I'm going to bring my A game, I'm going to do my best, but the fact that I was already successful kind of just changed the game, right? That little flippant attitude made auditions a lot less stressful. And that ties into number 3 because it's also kind of the same as it is for a job. It's much easier to not be nervous and to be really comfortable in yourself and have your best foot forward and deliver a great job interview when you already have a job. So if you're desperate for a job and you are really pinning all your hopes on this one, it creates a lot of nervous energy, anxiety, or stress around this one interview, where if you already have a job, you're like, it would be nice if I got this one, but at least I know all my bills are being paid. Totally different vibe from you. So remember on this first date that you're not trying to impress him and make him like you. You're trying to gauge in the same way you would ask questions on a job about are the expectations of the job? What room is there for growth? What is the company's goal? What do you see me doing? What this position look like? All those questions, that's what you're doing on the date. You're trying to gauge whether you like him and want to see him again, not trying to do everything you can to make him want to see you again. He may want to see you again and you're like, heck no, that was a waste of my lipstick. So kind of the same thing. Just you don't have to pretend that you're someone famous. But remember that you're there to find out if you want the job, the date, the second date, this guy. Number 4, my 4th dating hack is some people get nervous on dates and they talk too much. Some people get nervous on dates and they clam up and can't think of anything to talk about or any questions, or can't tap into their stories or the tips I've given on how to use your surroundings in another video, which I will try to remember to link there. So just keep this in mind. Aim to do 40% of the talking. That way, if you're a person who has trouble forcing yourself into conversation starting, the pressure is less than having to carry it 50-50. And if you're a person who tends to ramble a bit or get overly anxious, it'll remind you to hold back a little bit and try to let that other person shine during the date as well. Hack number 5, just a great tip in general, show up looking like your photos, which doesn't mean you have to try to suddenly, an hour before a date, look 5 years younger. It means that if you are meeting somebody from a dating app, or because your sister showed them pictures of you, make sure that those pictures are current and actually look like you. Nothing like all those crazy, crazy airbrushed photos where nobody has a line on their face or a pore. I think I, for years, had a picture right out of the shower, no makeup, wet hair on my dating profile, and said, this is what it looks like first thing in the morning after a shower. And nobody was going to be surprised when they saw me without makeup. If we were in a relationship, they knew what they were getting into. Look like your photos. Number 6, if during the date or at the end of the date you realize and you are sure that you enjoyed this person and you would like to see them again, be honest, be forthcoming, be assertive, let him know. There's no game playing. What is to be gained by waiting to see how he feels first? Let him know, I had a really nice time. If you would like to get together again, I would totally be down for that. In fact, I've got something coming up next weekend. If you give me a call during the week, I can let you know all the specifics, and if you're free Friday, I'd love to take you. If he doesn't want to go, he doesn't want to go. He wasn't going to call anyway. You just holding back and not showing your cards doesn't help anything. Being forthcoming and sharing that you did have a good time makes him feel wanted. So if he was liking you, he now likes you more. And if he doesn't, he at least knows you're a grown-up and you can hold your own and you're confident enough to state your opinion, whether it might make you look vulnerable. Number 7, I want you to hear me sitting on your shoulder, whispering in your left or right ear, whichever one hears better. Follow-up questions. Ask follow-up questions. When someone tells you something about themselves and you have a me too moment, forego the explanation of why me too, and instead, follow-up question, follow-up question. Ask them more about that. He says to you, I was in Vegas last weekend. Instead of going, oh my God, I was in Vegas with my girlfriends last month. We went for blah, blah, blah's bridal shower. It was crazy weekend. Where is that getting you? He now just knows you went to Vegas too. Big whoop-de-doo. Instead, follow-up questions. Oh, what were you in Vegas for? Where did you stay? Did you gamble much? Did you lose or did you win? Did you go to Vegas often? What made you choose that? You know, did you see any shows? Or did you just gamble? Did you sleep at night? All these questions will inform you as to whether he's a person you want to travel with in the future, whether it's safe to ever go with him to Vegas. You telling him you are also there with your friends, you learn nothing about him. Ask follow-up questions. Hack number 8, memorize your goodbye speech. It's another awkward moment like the hello, hug, handshake, pulling out my chair situation. Know what you want to say if this is a person you want to see again, or you could have said it in the middle of the date as I suggested a few hacks ago. But know that if you don't want to see him again, what you're going to say, so you're not fumbling, going, or lying. You don't want to be lying, saying, yeah, oh sure, here's my number. Or people who give a fake number, or then wanting to avoid his calls and crawl under a rock every time the phone rings. Just be a grown-up. Be honest. You would want that honesty in return. Have that speech ready, whatever it is. Make it sound like it's coming from you. I could give you one. It would be something like, oh, I'm really glad I came out tonight to meet you. It was a pleasure just getting to know you, tell great stories. You're really charming. I don't think this was a romantic match for me, but I'm super pleased that we were able to meet. Trying to wrap it up in my head. Get home safely. I hope you have a great summer, a great holiday, a great Thanksgiving. Thanks again. Have a great night. Have it in your head. Know what you're going to say. It's always going to be sort of the same kind of flow to it on subsequent dates, but memorize it. You're a movie star after all. Hack number 9, be vulnerable. Another situation where you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. This is a person who barely knows you. You've been on one date. Also applicable after a second date. He knows you from 2 dates. Most of what he knows, he is surmising, putting through his own filter and projecting onto you based on things that you've said that he may or may not have understood or have any context for. If he doesn't want to see you again, he just didn't get it. He didn't know you well enough. You just weren't his type. Whatever, he's not the one, so you move on. But if you don't let somebody get to know you and you keep that wall up, they don't know you and they're choosing you or discarding you based on something other than who you truly are. So my best advice for sharing with someone during a date is to share the personal stuff. Not your deepest, darkest secrets, but you want to share truly how you feel about things, how you think about things, your opinions. Just be vulnerable. That will only serve you well dating, and it can never hurt you. And number 10 is skip the first date and go to the second date. It's a great hack. You don't have to have a first date. You can get there, and as long as you're both on the same page, together you can decide, you know what, first dates are kind of sucky. I'm not really a fan. I don't like the small talk. I don't like the nerves. I don't like the awkwardness. So if it's cool with you, can we just skip to the second date? Feel free to ask me anything. I don't need to hear about where your family lives and where you went to college. Let's get to the good stuff and just pretend we're on a second date. That's my best hack for you right there, and I saved it for the end. I hope you found these helpful. If you did, please give the episode a thumbs up, and as long as you're there, hit the subscribe button, maybe even the ring bell. Then you're notified every time I upload a new episode. I would love to have you back, obviously, and you are welcome anytime. So please know that I appreciate you being here today, and I will be looking forward to the next time. And until then, have a good one.